I'm back with Scarlet Hollow. This is the latest chapter they have out right now. It should be chapter 4, if I'm remembering correctly. uh, but yeah, this is a horror game. I wouldn't really outright call anything gore, but yeah. I am gonna turn the music up a little more though. Alrighty. Yeah, episode 4. Alrighty, let's go. Yeah, let's see a recap. The long lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late night stops and CDD pods that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You would normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. And I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Pain. Rot. Decay. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. You dive to the flashlight and swing your body towards the woods. I said aim the damn thing. Quick. Perfect. Wait, where's Gretchen? Where's my dog? My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. Make yourself at home. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. Diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions these monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Mother, you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now, anyways. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. You're interrupted by a sudden movement under the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. She didn't. Guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut as a singer hangout spot these days. But the Shaw Mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. What is it? You know I'm in a meeting. A kid just snuck into the Shaw Mine. I figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do these things keep happening to me? Ugh, whatever. I'll head over there as soon as I can. Just Stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. So it's actually really safe, and we can hang out here whenever we want. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted. It is. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. You turn to see Becca and Alexis gone, and Rosalina anxiously hovering in front of a small tunnel in the cavern wall. She freezes as you notice her. There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives toward you, not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Ren? Are you alright? You and Tabitha manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine come crashing down. Holy shit! You're okay! Thank God. And everyone's accounted for. That was a surprisingly close call. We could have all died in there. What did you weirdos do? Everything was fine until you adults showed up. Becca, shut up! Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You collapse on Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. When you close your eyes, you see the shadowy figures that gathered behind Stella in the mines. Your thoughts are drawn to the carving on the wall, and to the visions it imparted upon you. As you ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Ren, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. You two did right by those kids, though. What a blessing to ever get out of that situation all right. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Ren, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. Ew. But ain't Ren. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. She was there with Stella that night in the woods. It's a pleasure to meet you, miss. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Hope you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. If I'm being honest, all I want to do right now is just drive out of here and take you with me. Maybe tomorrow. I don't think that's gonna happen. He's a dog. Not only is this mayor a dog, but judging from the series of portraits lining the walls, every mayor of Scarlet Hollow has also been a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Not this man. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Ren. Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. No. Basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all of his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corner of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately, haven't been cleaning much. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to him. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So I was wondering if maybe we could watch a movie sometime this week, while Brenna's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement, alone, just because seeing my friends have been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can try to fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went okay. Hey, I forgot. Hey, hope I'm not too late. Haven't missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained and reddish brown. I'm going for it. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. There you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? And absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders. The sins of the father ought to be laid upon the children. Forfeit your years and I will finally leave. The smell hits you, the now familiar, wet, unwell odor. What an annoying pest you are, but you couldn't keep me out for long. It seems we've exhausted his power. Holding all these bodies hostage might have been quite taxing. Come along, Ren. It's desperate, but it has no power over you. There's no need to bow to the will of such a frayed and broken consciousness. Leave it to fester. You fall towards the entrance, your legs still unsure of the ground beneath you, and the doors fly open. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. You made the right choice. It would have been so easy to fall for its tricks. I'm proud that you didn't. Be seeing you. Sorry, I can't talk right now. See you later. She hurries off down the road. I'm looking forward to continuing our chat tomorrow once you've had some time to rest. I am not. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling to bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. now commands the entirety of City Hall, a swirling void of wrath and despair that the people of this town will have to learn to ignore. Disaster looms its tallest yet over Scarlet Hollow. Wake up. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seems so far away. You can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. But you know that the fierce spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. yet lingers, locked behind the doors of the town hall, still tied to the earth by its hatred of you and your bloodline. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hope you made it home okay? Haven't heard from Stella since last night. How about you? You checked your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Text Stella. Hey, I'm kind of worried after you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you get the chance. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. Haven't from her either. That's not good. I think we should try looking for her. Let's meet up in town. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Yeah, let's check the closet. Make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. Did it? But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. And judging by the residue that was left behind, you're pretty sure you know the culprit. That means he was in your room. But was he there while you were out of the previous day, or did he enter while you slept unawares just a few feet away? Damn it! Man, I forgot your name. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Take a shower! You might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. It is good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you... I want to go back to the fucking clinic. Huh? Oh yeah, Wayne. You think about the door in the clinic. You're still drawn to it, even now. You'll be going back there today. You're sure of it. I'm done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Head downstairs. It's time to face your cousin. Oh, let's see what she says today. Fufu. She's not here, but it looks like she left a note on the counter. Had to run. The librarian needed a new house, so I'm giving him the keys to the Maxwell place. And the miners decided to stage a strike today, of all days, so I won't be around. I know there's no point asking you not to do anything reckless, but I'm asking anyway. Be back late, call if you get in any trouble. Tabitha. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Dr. Fufu! You walk over to the cat. Oh, c'est toi. C'est ce que tu veux maintenant. Maintenant. Do you know anything about the stone carvings scattered around town? I'm not here to be your commandant. Je suis un detective. Je suis un chat. I am here to watch you flail about in the darkness. I'm not here to provide answers to whatever mysteries confound your feeble American mind. Would you ever let me pet you? It has been known to happen. Perhaps one day when you have earned the right, but don't count on it. Disgusting human. You nod respectfully to Frou-Frou. She scoffs, her tail twitching with annoyance. But you can sense she's less annoyed than she usually is. Maybe she's getting used to you. Let me get the cat. I missed you last night, Frou-Frou. That makes one of us. Bye, Frou-Frou. Good talk. She scoffs as you turn away. Let's have a quick PB&J. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get the chance to eat. Make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. Head to town. Time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. God, I wish I had a bike. The sun The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. Glimpses of pale figures dot your periphery. You haven't seen ditchings in the middle of the day before. They're getting bolder. Oh, Avery! Sup, my... my person. To your surprise, you find a familiar face, making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see ya. Hope you're able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. I was up most of the night, totally wired on adrenaline. Even if I'd been able to chill out a bit, knowing that thing was right down the street. Yeah, not super conducive to a good night's sleep. Hopefully no hooligans break into the library and get trapped in ghost hell. Where there are abandoned buildings, there are people trying to break in and get spooked. Nothing we can do to stop that, but maybe the ghost won't possess anyone if there aren't any Scarlets around to guilt trip. Who knows? I can't flirt with them. I've already flirted with Kanika. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like last night was awful. She's usually so implacable. Kanika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Absolutely! I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, there's already a few miners already holed up in there. Aw, man. They must be using it as a home base for the strike. Oh, by the way, there's a strike going on. Sure you already know that, though. Have to imagine Tabitha would have told you this morning. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Sharpay faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but like, are they dangerous? They're not gonna eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? I'd rather not find out. Anyone in town have a flamethrower? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Julius had one laying around. Hopefully we won't have to ask him for it. I'm not that worried. Yet. Alright. Let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. You and Avery start down the path to town. Kanika! It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Ren, you made it. And you picked up a neighbor along the way. Hope you're both doing okay. Like, emotionally. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack. Totally exhausted and super foggy. Mom's been insisting I caught a cold, and I wasn't buying it. But as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering this ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not going to let that stop me from looking for Stella. I think last night just pushed her over the edge. I know I've only known her for a couple of days, but it feels like she has a tendency to run from difficult emotions. Usually she just changes the subject, but I guess this time she wound up literally running. You're absolutely right, and as your friends, we can't let her be alone at a time like this. I've made that mistake before. Plus, she can get mobbed by those weird little creatures, or worse. Exactly. This is no time for anyone to be off on their own. Who knows what kind of weird stuff is out there. After the past couple of nights, I wouldn't be surprised if there were actual Bigfoots in the woods just waiting to eat any human that wanders too far from civilization. do Bigfoot's thirst for human flesh? Is that some kind of common knowledge I wasn't keyed in on? I wouldn't be surprised is all I'm saying. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where to first? We can just not talk to Kanika's mom. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today. Just in case I ran into yet another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. You make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. This house is quiet, the world outside muffled as you take a cautious step over the threshold into the muted air of the living room. You have a feeling Stella won't be emerging from the shadows to sleepily greet you. You step past the threshold and into Stella's house. The living room is almost exactly as you saw it the other day. Aside from a corner of the room dedicated to Gretchen, Stella's house almost feels like a museum. Everything's organized with a sort of tidiness you wouldn't expect from someone as rough and tumble as Stella, and only a handful of objects feel like they belong to her. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room. Or maybe someone, or something, caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm gonna forget that you said that and just be thankful that doesn't look like a crime scene. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. You do notice, though, that her jacket is nowhere in sight. It isn't in her closet, and it wasn't on the coat rack in the other room. Stella's jacket is gone. The Letterman one. It wasn't on the rack in the other room, and it's not in here. And she didn't have it yesterday. Okay, so she definitely came home last night. There's always a chance she left it somewhere else and we just missed it, but yeah, she probably came home last night. Assuming she was here, where did she go? And why did she leave? I want to know why we haven't been able to reach her. You gotta check Stella's computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there, like a note, detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open, so we're just entering, not breaking and entering. Well, maybe the computer was left open too. Exactly. There isn't a password. Maybe we're supposed to take a peek. Maybe we'll find the first note in an elaborate scavenger hunt she set up overnight. Sure, snoop away, but I'm not going to take part in this. I'll just be over here, standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. Whoa, how do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. Check Stella's search history. She hasn't visited any websites since Tuesday night. If she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Aside from the expected searches for Tommy Knockers and Ditchlings, it looks like she's been playing a lot of Sarah McLean. I know that's not what that says, but we're just going to pretend. Okay, I take it back. This is way too personal. I'll just join Kanika in the corner while you wrap things up. See? I told you so. That's that. It would take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Her most recent tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Forum, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. The post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hey everyone, was checking out a Scumpig sighting the other day and I found these weird little guys. My mom's friend says they're something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I got a ton of extra footage. Look at this next. They've been doing something to the animals in town, and apparently there's some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. I believe you. Lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. Sick. The thread continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so this isn't an ARG. I would never, and you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommyknockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. Okay, when was she doing any video recording at all during that scenario? There's a link to an audio file titled Tommyknockers Real. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. Gary, you're an ass! 2 supernatural events on back-to-back nights? This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell it to big indie horror. This is Kidnapped by Aliens all over again. Also, lol, doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Thank God. I don't think there's any clues here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. We could use a few more houseplants. I'll pull together some trimmings after we found her. Oh, she still does those corkboard with strings things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. To the kitchen! Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Open! The crust of the bread has gone somewhat stale, about as much as you expect after being left out overnight. Whoever left it here left many hours ago. It's a little messy, but it doesn't look like anything violent happened here. It's possible she came home, grabbed some food, and left in a hurry, right? Does she have somewhere she needed to be? She didn't say she had anything she had to rush off to. Maybe she just had a panic attack after being possessed. That was over 12 hours ago. I'd hope she'd be home by now if that was the case. Still the sort of person to stop back home to make a snack in the middle of a mental health crisis. Yes. And it's comforting to think that might be all that happened. A panic attack is much more manageable than rotting ghouls or parasitic doughboys. Okay, I don't think we're going to find much else here. Let's move on. Okay, so she probably came home last night, but she's not here now, and we don't have any idea where she might have gone. Thought it was you overreact. What? I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hoped she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? Oh, we're not going to the church. I do not want to see that pastor. Alright, let's check in with Oscar and Rosalina. They should be at the old Maxwell place. Tabitha dropped off the keys this morning. The old Maxwell place? So Tabitha put them up in a broken down ruin that should have been bulldozed years ago. I guess it's good they have a roof over their heads. Or what's left of a roof. Your cousin is gonna get an earful next time I see her. Kanika storms off down the road, and you and Avery follow close behind. Oh, jeez. You don't get far before the sound of growling and desperate hisses grab your attention. Get away from me! I'm supposed to be an indoor cat. I'm not supposed to see things like you. You don't even talk, you freak! You turn to see a ditchling approach a cornered pixel in an alley. He must have slipped out of the library with everyone else last night. The ditchling, distracted from its hunt by your arrival, cranes its neck to face you, its eyes settling on you with alien indifference. In the distance, you can hear the furious patter of many feet approaching. You won't be alone for long. Hey, quit it! Words feel meek as they leave your mouth, and the ditchling, unaffected, turns back to its cornered prey. Is there a pipe or something laying around? Maybe we can scare it off. Drop kick that son of a thing. Son of a... There's no time! I'm grabbing Pixel! Oh, she... Before you react, a small pack of dogs round the corner. Whoa, okay! You know what? I lied when I said there was no core at the beginning of this. That's my bad. I did not realize that was going to happen. I'll just cover that up a little bit. Before you can react, a small pack of dogs round the corner. They pounce on the creature, pulling it from the wall and then taking turns biting and tearing at it until it's ripped to shreds. Okie dokie, buddy. Their task complete, they saunter towards you. What the... Isn't that Daisy? And Scraps. Almost looks like every other dog in town. All in some kind of dog gang. I lived! Pixel, you got out of the library. Oh, you poor cat. Come here. Pixel cautiously walks towards your group before clambering into your arms. He's a comfortable heft to him. I guess he likes you more than me. I can just talk to animals, that's all. We found him last night, terrified and shaking in a bush outside the library. I wasn't that scared. I haven't even been helping out. Little Pixel here's been volunteering as a scout. Don't worry, we're always right around the corner. Those creatures only like to strike out when they have numbers, but they're hardly very bright. We made sure the little guy was taken care of till the humans were awake. Y'all know where he's supposed to go? Oh shit. Have any of you seen or smelled Stella, Gretchen's human friend? Oh dear. Poor Gretchen. We heard about what happened to her. To think those awful creatures could get to a dog whose human cared about her so much. It just goes to show we gotta look out for ourselves if we're going to survive. If the humans can't save us, we'll have to save ourselves. To answer your question, we did catch a whiff near the library, and one near her house. Haven't picked up anything around town since then. She didn't go back to the library, did she? Let's hope those creatures haven't already gotten to her. No way, you don't think they go after humans, do you? They've run out of local animals to hunt down. I wouldn't be surprised if they set their sights on humans next. Don't worry too much. I'm sure it still wouldn't be easy for them to hurt Gretchen's person. These creatures are so soft and easy to bite. I'm sure you'll be able to... Oh, okay, that is just weird grammar, okay. I'm sure she'll be able to defend herself. And we'll keep our noses to the ground, just in case we catch a scent again. Good doggies. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. You call me a good dog? Daisy a good dog? Daisy's tail wags excitedly before she regains her composure. Sorry. I just love to hear it. Aren't your families worried about you off on your own like this? We're country dogs. So long as we come home for dinner, most of us aren't missed too much. Speak for yourself. I know my family has been worried sick, but I can't let that get in the way of what's important. Besides, if I went home, they might tie me up, and then I'd be a sitting duck. Dog. Alright. We best be on our way. Same for us. This is the first time that we know of. Those things are out during the day, which means the pets at Scarlet Hollow need us now more than ever. Make sure the humans keep an extra careful watch on their furry companions. Ugh. A band of dogs scampers off. You just had a full-on conversation with those dogs. It's so weird when you do that. Does this sort of thing happen a lot with Ren? Yeah, it takes some getting used to. After last night, it don't take a whole lot more than Ren having a conversation with a gang of dogs to faze me. Pixel in tow, you and your companions continue on to the old Maxwell place. The old Maxwell place. It was clearly once a mid-century modern home, and undoubtedly quite stylish for its time. But it's been abandoned for unknown decades, and moss and vines choke its exterior, barely concealing cracked walls and dust-clouded glass. Hey! Where the heck are you taking me? This ain't my house! Before you can approach, the door opens and Oscar's head pokes out from the entryway. Hello? Oh, sorry if I started y'all. Wallace here worn down enough I can hear you coming from a block away. Good morning, Oscar. Just thought we'd stop by to check in. Thank goodness you found Pixel. Rosalina's been beside herself. Oscar's voice is tired. He's had a long night, and it shows, his graying face seemingly having aged in the hours since you last saw him. Please, come on in. Damn, that girl goes everywhere with her now. Pixel! Rosalina rushes forward, taking Pixel gently from your arms. Hey, Rosalina. Hey, Alexis. Look who we found on the way up here. I was so worried. I thought the ghost must have done something to him. Goats couldn't get Pixel. I'm way too slippery. Totally could have beat up that ghost if I wanted to. Alexis is helping us put a room together. We don't plan on staying here long, but the girls seem to be having fun with it. Thank goodness, even after all they've been through. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Like some weird intercom thing and a jacuzzi. Maybe you guys could fix up the place. Doesn't seem that run down. It is a lot cooler than I thought it would be. And I've already met a ghost, so if it turns out to be haunted, that's no big deal. Oh, no. Have any of you seen Stella? We haven't been able to find her since everyone left the library last night. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? Nope, we have no clue where she's gone. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. I should have done a better job warning her. Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghost. I don't think you were gonna be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. Probably less to do with her being a ghost and more being possessed by the ghost. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was gonna get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes that's just not going to be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina's always saying. I suppose I do apologize more than I should. You really do. Now, I'm really starting to worry. Seems like no one in town has seen her. That doesn't mean something bad happened. But it doesn't exactly sound like it's all sunshine and roses for her either. I'm sure she'll be okay, but you should probably get back to looking for her soon. Well, what's gonna happen to your career now that the library's closed? Okay. That's a good question. I was up all night wondering the same thing. Things stay the way they are right now. It's essentially like the library burned down. The books are inaccessible, the building is unsalvageable. In that scenario, the county would have to put up the money to build a new archive, or we'd have to move someplace where I can work in an existing library. And Scarlet Hollow would lose a valuable public service. Oscar. Ah, man, that sucks. Move? So you and Rosalina would leave. But we're not going to do that. Right, Dad? We're staying here. Is there any way you can just, start over and rebuild the collection? I'm sure folks around town would be willing to pitch in. It would be a lot of work, but that's a possibility. So maybe it won't even have to come to that. Do you think you'll have to stay here long term? Nah, I'll find a way to get the library back, and our house with it. I don't care what it takes, I'm not letting that creature get the last laugh. I've been thinking, as far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal going on. I've been thinking, as far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal going on in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods, while entire buildings are taken over by supernatural creatures. You think there was an inciting event, right? I do. That's my thought too. It was never like this in the holler before. Something must have happened that kicked off all this magic stuff. Well, Pearl Ann did just die recently. Avery stares at you. Don't! I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Ren got here. Kanika shoots Avery a glare. No, we're not throwing Ren under the bus. But there's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. They're so funny. Sure, there's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple steps away from the whole town deciding to shaw her. No one's going to drag Ren into a witch hunt on my watch. I mean, that is kind of the reason we were in this situation last night anyway. I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, it's not like I'm gonna run around telling everyone that Ren magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there's a catalyst for all of this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Ren getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Pearl Ann died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time she arrived. Thank you! Not to mention, I started seeing things in the house before Pearl Ann passed, I think. I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. Whatever the cause of this is, there must be some way to put this genie back in the bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. The town archives are, unfortunately, in the library. I told you putting everything online was important. No one uses papers anymore, Dad. You were right. It'll be my first project if we get the library back. I've learned my lesson. Till then, I'll just have to make do with what I can find online. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. Oh, yes. We've been finding these weird stone seals. There's one in the mines, and another in your basement. There might be more. Those are the carvings you mentioned last night, right? To think there was something like that under my house all this time. To think someone must have put it there. But who? This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Ren. Ren, didn't you say you felt something similar to the mine seal outside the clinic yesterday? I hope that didn't mean something weird is about to happen there, too. Oh, most definitely. Uh-oh. Losing the library is already a blow, but losing the only doctor's office in town seems like it would be bad. Here's hoping we sort things out before that becomes an issue. Colt. Ooh, cult stuff, though. That would be interesting, but I don't think that's the direction we're going. Make sure Pixel stays inside, or he might get grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things in the woods, right? With those faces? Yeah, the anguished doughboys. I kinda like them. It's like a hidden object came out there today with all the weird little faces peering out of the bushes. Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kinda interesting. To each their own. Not Pixel. He's the best cat I ever met. He's like a little dude. How do we know he didn't get infected already? He was out all night. Is he gonna be okay? I think some dogs kept him safe. Like, a gang of dogs? I know it sounds ridiculous, but we saw it with our own eyes. A gang of dogs? I suppose stranger things have happened. It's very weak, in fact, but we'll make sure he stays safe. Right, Rosalina? Rosalina, right? I'm not letting him out of my sight ever again. There's definitely something in the clinic. I think there's something in the clinic. There was this door yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it. Oh, it's just my calendar. Right, I'd almost forgotten after everything that happened yesterday. You said there was something there that reminded you of the mines, right? So weird how some of the explorers go over other plot points. I'll see. I'll dig up what I can on the clinic. There's a lot of history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something out in that place as well. You have a friend that lives there, right? Should we tell him that something bad might happen in his house? You might want to stay someplace else for now. The last few nights are any indication. Yeah, I can shoot recent warning texts, but I don't know if his mom will let him leave. She's got an iron grip on that poor dude, and she's probably even more of a skeptic than I am. Was. I'm a freaking. Reese mentioned a movie night, right? It's the perfect cover for an investigation. Who knows if that would fly with Dr. Kelly, though. After last night, I'm pretty sure she's not going to let us anywhere near her house. She's the only doctor in town. She can't just ban people from the clinic, right? I don't think so, but hopefully nobody gets sick or hurt enough to justify a visit over the next couple of days. If we're going to investigate the clinic, I think we're going to have to break in. Yes. Whoa, that is unexpected coming from you. It's what Stella would do, and she's been 3 for 3 this week when it comes to finding spooky stuff. She's also been 3 for 3 when it comes to finding her way into mortal peril. This is why we have to find her as soon as possible. It shouldn't fall on me to suggest we do something dangerous. I'm terrible at selling it. It's not that I don't think we should figure out what's going on in there. We just need to be cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? Oh, man. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella and fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. We're going to get the library back, and we're going to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? We're not going to the cops. I did not make the best impression on them last night. Yeah, let's check out the church. We should check out the church. The church? Why? I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might be trying to get into all that religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all of our bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Absolutely not. Fucking freak. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. That's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? Oh, just fucking... My. 4 visitors at once. On a Thursday. This is unprecedented. There's the 4th. But there are only 3 of us? Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? Oh, sup? Sup, old people? It's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if Faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we were looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've neither seen hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. Though, Ren, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. I was worried about that. What do you have to say to her that you can't say in front of us? Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter. It's alright, we can get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. Fine. It's okay, I'm happy to talk to him. If you're sure. I guess we'll leave it to you while we check in with Janie. We'll be right over there by the fence that's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? See you in a minute. Well, let's see the deets on this weird old man. Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I had a chat with the maid yesterday. I heard you did too. I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. Oh! You can talk to animals too! You have no idea how long I thought it must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point that it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. Whoa. No. Is that why people think you're creepy? Whoa. Are you telling me you can also... But I thought I was the only one. I guess the two of us are just kindred spirits. God. Okay, I love you, but you have to stop doing that. Squish. Is this why people think you're creepy? Because you have the gift? People think I'm creepy? But it's alright. People say all kinds of things. I just have to be patient and persistent, and I know eventually they'll understand that I can be a comforting presence in their lives. Not a creepy one. Okay. Maybe if I grew a thicker beard, people would trust me more. Or maybe I should get a cool jacket. Is your gift why you got into the church? It's hard to say. I was raised Baptist by two loving parents and was always interested in religion, but I've also always known about my talent, so I don't know what came first. If anything, though, I'd say I'm religious in spite of the gift. It hasn't exactly been easy to square this with a lot of the religious education I've had. Yeah, Baptists get weird. And Catholics. For instance, a lot of religious leaders will tell you that only humans have souls. Well, you and I both know that's not true, though I suppose that gets into a whole different conversation of what exactly a soul is. Oh my god. Reminds me of a different game I played. But those are conversations that I'm glad to leave to the scholars. I'm just a simple small-town pastor. I don't need to ask the big questions anymore. I just have to help people through their daily lives. It's just some hair, kitty cat. It's your hair, actually. Floating in the wind. Oh god, no. Does Janie know? No, I don't believe there should be secrets between man and wife, so I'll have to tell her one day, but there hasn't been a good time yet. Being a life in Scarlet Hollow has been a difficult process, and the last thing I need to do is add the stress of her husband being some kind of circus act. Tulip, on the other hand, I'm starting to have my suspicions that she might share this gift. There have been some particularly nasty riots in the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. He's interrupted by the sound of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come on out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seeming excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into these woods a lot lately, and it's been really dangerous, even for adults. That creepy-ass smile is why no one likes you. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. I was just thinking that. Oh, Tetanus Lake! Stella told me all about it. Tetanus Lake? That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that. Or if that would only make it sound more alluring. More alluring. I want to go see Tetanus Lake. What were you saying about the church rats? Yes, the rats. So you and I are used to the sort of chat over here from wildlife. It's usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to. But these rats, there's something so sinister about them. And they must be huge, judging by the sound of them scurrying around in there. Tulip had never shown evidence of the ability before. She's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversations with birds. In retrospect, she could have been hiding it the way I did growing up. I do not think there's a rats in there, buddy. Because I know she's been talking to the rats. She calls them her friends, has been drawing all these pictures of them. Really ghastly things. I try to bring it up with her, but she just gives this little smile and doesn't say a word, like it's her fun little secret. Oh my god. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in that trash heap. And ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. I'm concerned she's going to get hurt or catch some kind of disease. Are you sure they're rats? I think so. The pastor shifts uncomfortably for a moment. I hope so. What have they been saying? They like to try to goad me into crying or becoming depressed. They watch me through unseen holes and make fun of me and try to figure out how to press my buttons. It's annoying, but easy enough to block out, especially when I'm praying. I don't think they're a good influence on Tulip, though. She's gotten quiet and secretive ever since she started talking to them. I'd hate to think what they say to her when I'm not around to hear. Have you actually seen them? No, but I don't need to. I lived in a dome that had rats once. You never see them, but the church has all signs of an infestation. There's no mistaking the sound of little creatures stampeding through the walls. I've left out some humane rat traps, but they're too smart for them. All it's done is waste peanut butter. And I caught a possum in one, poor thing. Possums are never very bright. But at least he got a nice big scoop of peanut butter out of the ordeal. Has Janie heard them? She's not in the church very often. She's usually in town doing her jobs until late. We spend our evenings in the house. It's just me and Tulip all day long. Janie knows Tulip has made some strange little friends, but thinks it's an imagination game. I was hoping I'd sorted the rat issue before she gets suspicious, but they're persistent, so I may have to hire an exterminator if I can get the money for one. I hope it doesn't have to come to that. Is there anything I could do to help? Maybe I could try talking to them. That would be lovely. I'd certainly appreciate a helping hand here. I don't want to be too much of a bother, and you should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Ren. We got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners. And a few extra for me, of course. Oh shit, that was... Whoops. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I'd appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let y'all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. Kanika and Avery start back down the path to town and you follow. Interesting. Oh, jeez. I'm thinking that whatever is talking to Tulip and trying to pester the pastor is one of the things you read about in the second chapter? In the second chapter while you, Kanika, and Stella are at the library looking into things. I don't remember the name of it. But the talk about trying to make him depressed is what made me think of it. Because I think that was what one of them did. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? Tulips apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Pastor Daniel says there's a rat infestation in the church. and that the rats are her friends. I don't know. It seemed weird. Should have known we'd have to deal with a spooky kid at some point. Okay, as much as I'd hate going back there. I guess that's a loose lead. If we don't have anything else to investigate once we found Stella and... Kanika pauses. But once we've checked out the clinic, maybe then we can look around the church. Sounds like a plan. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? I don't... I wonder how many of these options you're allowed to explore before the game, like, shoves you into whatever the, freak incident of the day is. Check out the diner. Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. He is hoping Winnie didn't try to rope me into clocking in early. Please don't. I don't want to lose you. It feels like you've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they are having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. What's going on? There's a strike up at the mines. They've made the diner their base of operations. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing, and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now, and I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her? I hope not. We're not interrupting anything here, are we? Course not. Ain't paying customers welcome, as long as you aren't about to step on anybody's toes that calls a fuss. The miners in back are too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. Sure, the shift schedules are tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. Paycheck's a paycheck. I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pay us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. It's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management's scare tactics get to you. Hell, there was a collapse. The fuck? Hell, there was a collapse less than 2 days ago, and the boss expects us not to riot at the thought of being forced back down to work while the threat of death looms over our heads. The threats only work if we let them. It doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We got them up against the ropes. We can't back down now, or they'll come out swinging. Yeah, okay. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. Don't stare at me like that. So about the strike. We all know who you're related to, kid. Word travels fast, and I'll be damned if we talk business in front of you. Fair enough. I'm not a snitch. Maybe I can convince Tabitha to back down? I believe it when I see it, and in the meantime, there's still a line that we just can't cross. Trust can only go so far. No, Ren is cool. I wouldn't hang out with her if she wasn't. You can't help who you're related to, right? Damn, I didn't even know her till like a few days ago. No, you can't, but that doesn't mean we have to trust everyone who stumbles into town. No offense, but your friendship doesn't mean much, Dinah kids. You're friends with everybody, even that Julius freak. Dinah kid, I know you know Avery's name. If I ever hear you call him that again. Sorry, Miss Winnie, it won't happen again. Don't apologize to me. Sorry, Avery, I didn't mean to be so dismissive. Y'all are right, though. I am pretty friendly with most people in town. Who the fuck is Julius? If my friendliness and ability to get along with anybody means I can't vouch for you, I guess that's that. Sorry, Ren. Damn. I'll vouch for her. You can't say that doesn't mean anything. Y'all know I hate Tabitha. I wouldn't stick my neck up for any relative of hers who wasn't 100% on our side. Alright, noted. I can't say I'm comfortable having our little discussion in front of you, but maybe I won't keep thinking of you as Tabitha's little stoogie. I've done nothing but piss her off since I've gotten here. Well, I mean, we're here, might as well. I wish there was a third middle ground option. Because you can understand both sides, right? Harrison really needs the money, and if they can't find another place, then that screws them over. But also, you should be, being paid away. The fact that, she's not getting paid enough to actually find a place on her own and send money back home is also really fucked up, too. So. Don't pressure. Okay. Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. Don't pressure people to that, 'cause if they don't want to strike, they don't have to. Ren, what the hell? I didn't mean it like that. I just meant for you to, give her a break. Oh, great. The boss even has her cousin going around strike breaking. Get out of here before we drive you out. You're not welcome here. That's... All of you calm down. If a fight breaks out in my establishment, you're all out. I don't care who's in the right. You heard the lady. Don't get involved, or we'll all have to take this outside. Whoa, hey, let's all bring it down a notch. I'm sure Ren just doesn't have a good grasp on the situation. Let's not start any fights. That's why I wanted a middle ground. No need to kick anybody out, Aunt Winnie. We're all friends here. Sorry, fellas. We won't bother you. We'll make ourselves scarce. You turn and leave the diner. Avery and Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Alright, well, visit the fucking cops. We should go to the cops, right? Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? Do you think it's worth the trouble? As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. Okay, about the strike thing. I feel like I need... I think it's an uncomfortable position because he's pressuring the other woman to join the strike, and I don't think that's a good thing you should be doing, because that can, give off the wrong impression. Especially since she said she needed the job for this. But also, Once you start pressuring people, you're not giving them the choice to, like, make the choice to join the strike anymore. You're, like, putting a moral, you're making it about, like, morals, really. Like, if you don't do this, you're a bad person, right? And she's not a bad person for wanting to keep a job that helps her provide for her sister, you know? The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find Beau and Duke standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Now listen here, Hugby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big, raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. I understand that and all, but I just don't see what y'all want us to do about it. I know y'all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, this simply isn't a job the police can help you with. Now, if you were able to find some kind of evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then you would get a lawyer involved and take it to small claims court. Dang it, deputy, ain't finding evidence what y'all are supposed to be good for. That Julius has been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways for all his life. You folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I told you we was better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. The cops realize you've entered, their attention quickly shifting to you. Well, if it ain't our little prank caller, that... I'ma fight the police. You know you're not supposed to do that, right? There's laws in the books about pranking emergency services. We'll let you off with a warning, for now, but only because it was funny. That's funny! That would be funny if they were part of a cult and that's why they can't do their jobs. But they're just stupid. Anyway, that's why we're here. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. She isn't at home and none of us has heard from her. Is she what now? Oh, that's just our Stella. Always running off. I wouldn't worry too much about it. She'll turn up. This is different, Earl. You know I wouldn't be up here bothering you if it wasn't important. Yeah, for one thing, someone threatened her last night. He's been trailing around since she got into town, too. It's called abuses. Why do we even come here? This is useless. We had to do our due diligence, and now we have. Isn't there supposed to be paperwork we should fill out? A report for you fellas to file? Oh, there's no need for all that bureaucracy. We like to keep things simple around here. Oh my god. Oh, we know to keep an eye out for her. Strangle that man. What's all this about a pumpkin? Seems the Callaway Hughes have left a considerably large pumpkin. We ain't lost crud, Earl. You can't lose what's been stolen. We already know who did it. We saw Julius eyeing her yesterday. Look, Beau, I feel you. I really do. But that's circumstantial at best. And even if it wasn't, you know yourself that there isn't a clear property line. What makes you think Julius stole it? You're poking a wasp's nest, Ren. There's 100 years of history here. Aren't there always? He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He's got himself confused about where the property line is, as always. The Galloways and Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard of something like this, and we get our fair share of calls from Julius, too. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never picked him as a thief. Friend? A snake like him has friends? I want to meet Julius. Friend is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding. I would love to kick his ass for you. It really is a classic Southern family dispute. Alright. Yeah. You want me to go over there and kick his ass for you? Watch it, Ren. If Julius Tremaine shows up tomorrow with a busted nose, we'll know it was you. And what of it? I'm sure Ren just means that metaphorically, Dennis. I like your gumption, but I don't want anyone to dirty themselves picking fights on my behalf. I just want my damn pumpkin back. Dad always told me violence only makes more trouble. Damn it. It's better for me to come to the police when I have a problem with Julius, even if it don't make much difference. That's right, Bo, which is why we're going through the proper channels. Or trying to, at least. Look, it's good that you came by to let us know of the possible theft, but I'm telling you, there's not much to be done. And I say, that's horse crud. You know, I haven't seen him since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Even if he didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Alright, let me speak in plainer terms. Everyone knows that Julius Tremaine's land is booby-trapped to hell. It's not worth it. Is that so? So you just been giving me and my boy the runaround all morning? I don't have to answer that question. Helpful. So he's got some traps on his property. Never stopped me from visiting. Yeah? Do you have kids, Avery? Because I've got 2 teenage girls at home. Ugly's got grandkids. Franklin's got the mayor, I guess. That's where I recognized him from. He's the mayor's bodyguard. I'm not about to risk getting my head blown off over a pumpkin. That's right. There's some sleeping dogs you learn to just let lie. I've been Scarlet Hollow sheriff for over 20 years now. You don't hold a position like that for so long without learning a few lessons on temperance and moderation. You don't do shit. What good's a sheriff who won't do his job? This is lawlessness. If I may, sirs, ain't that a bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. Not the ones that live very long, son. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. That's a mighty kind offer, but let's give it another day. There's no need to escalate things when they might just resolve themselves. Tomorrow, Earl, or I'm running against you next election. It looks like you folks are busy. We'll be on our way. Well, that was a total waste of time. It was. It wasn't a total waste of time. We gotta find out what's been going on with Julius. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. He usually comes in every single day. Maybe he's preoccupied with the titchlings? I just hope he's okay. Where to next? Shh. Mines, I guess, man. We should go to the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Della went to find your cousin. I can't say I get it, but it's definitely something she would do. You don't see it? Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know? Classic dog and cat situation. Come on. I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple days a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Look out, fellas, that's the boss's cousin. And Zach said these kids were just down at the diner acting suspicious. Don't engage. Let me walk on by, then. I know nothing, I heard nothing, I am a shadow on the wall. Damn, okay. Fucking. But never. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners collectively ignore you. Alright. Look, I know you have a well-deserved bone to pick with the Scarlets, but Stella doesn't have anything to do with the strike. Have you seen her or not? The YouTuber? She's the one on all the banned for property posters, right? We haven't seen her. We've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. Yeah, let's try to talk to Tabitha. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket line? Oh shit, you know what, you're right. I forgot about that, yeah. No, I don't want to cross the picket line. You don't have to literally cross the picket line to get inside. There's always that hole Rosalina used to sneak in the other day. I just wanted to talk to her about the thing. I'm sure she can chill out. No, because if I call her, that's gonna get weird. I don't want to fuck this up. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. Hello? What is it? You're not about to get eaten by the Babadook or something weird like that, right? Okay. Stella's missing. Have you seen her? She's missing? Tabitha is quiet for a moment. I'm sure she'll turn up, but I'll see if I can get a hold of her. Don't think looking for my missing acquaintance gives you a pass to do anything dangerous. You're forbidden from... I can't take her seriously. You're forbidden from doing risky things, even for what you might think is a good reason. I'm hanging up now. Bye. She hangs up the phone. That doesn't sound like she knows where Stella is. Come on, let's go. We can figure out our next move when we get back to town. Oh, good. I didn't think about that might thing. Where to next? As you consider your next steps, you remember your appointment with Sybil. She seemed to be confident last night that Stella would be okay. Maybe she'd be able to help you find her. Nobody ever seems to say anything to undermine her, except for her daughter. And daughters always clash with their mothers. This town trusts her. I don't! Creepy ass woman. And she'd never disparage your gift. Perhaps she's one of the few people in town who can truly understand you. Nah, man. Last night she was weird as hell. I don't trust that woman one bit. We should talk to your mom. I'm supposed to have tea with her today. My mom wanted to talk to you? She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something. We can humor her. Let's do it. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the three of you enter. Kanika, there you are. You're supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, you two. Hope you both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing, and Stella can take care of herself, unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Come on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. I thought you had some sort of important thing to talk to Ren about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to her. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Ren. Kanika turns and heads towards the stair without saying another word. Good thing Kanika has her mom looking out for her. She seems so tired today, and you'll probably be able to find Stella without her. I'm so sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Red and I could do a reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help with the diner. You're right. I've totally left her on her own today. Fine by me. I wouldn't want to mess with the tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Oh, but before I go, I did want to ask, are you a witch? As flattered as I am that you think I'm that magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave y'all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Ren. They make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Sybil motions toward the tea room. Alrighty. To the tea room. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. That is typically how they're done. Take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here, only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. This is a special blend. It should help clarify some of the visions you've been getting. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? Oh no, that's creepy. Oh, you take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatical effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine. Which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrieking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. I mean, seriously, what are all the dudes? What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? They even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart, or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended when your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed the death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's words had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it It's stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not when most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. You close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. The tea's gone before you know it. The small cup empty save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Okay, cut out of this. Have you actually had tea where you let it sit in there? Like the leaves sit in there? Because that's gross. And it keeps, and the tea will keep steeping too. So, if you don't drink it all the way, it gets really bitter by the end. And drinking tea leaves is not fun. Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty. And the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlands. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here. A cat, an enemy, lurking in plain sight. It's not Pastor Daniel, it's not Dr. Kelly, not Avery, not Reese, not Oscar. Which one's Reese again? Oh, Reese is the sick kid. Kanika, Stella, Wayne. Wayne's the only freaky person in this group. The cat could be Wayne. He says he's my friend, but I'm not sure that's true. It's not. Don't trust a word out of that man's mouth. But I doubt he's the cat. The cat implies a certain level of two-facedness that I don't think he possesses. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlands that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Yes! Break into the clinic. Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. I think I felt another in the clinic. That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, that could give you a leg up on your adversary. She is the most suspicious person in this group, by the way. I didn't say that earlier. If it's like anyone on that long list of things, she's at the top of it. You just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than given any clear answers. Thanks, I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well, and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. The bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. So Kanika has a cold, huh? That's what Mom says. She's just trying to get out of work again. Like I didn't have anything better to do all week while she sits in her room watching anime. You shut your fucking mouth. Goku pants. I didn't even realize they were Goku pants. Why don't you two get along? Ask her. She's all one who's always bossing me around. Just because she's older, she thinks she's my mom or something. I have a mom. I'm a fucking freak. See any weird rocks around town? Yeah. You. He smirks. Clearly this is a very sick burn, and you should feel bested by his wit. Okay. Checking on Kanika. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while. Not your mom. Oh, Ren, what's up? Can I come in? Sorry, Ren, my mom is right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. Looks like you're on your own. Oh, okay. You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic. Breaking into the clinic. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. Yes. It's a nice, creepy shot. Oh, look! Wayne's there! All the way over there. And a ditch link. I just got a few of them. One there, one there. One there, one there. Oh, one there. That's a raccoon. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. Just ask Wayne, he's sitting over there. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of a striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Hello, buddy. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there, if you were trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you do it? What? Just because I've got little hands and go through people's trash, I'm supposed to know how to break into places? There's a hill that'll take you right up to that big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave windows open there and I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep in their big piles of cloth. It's one of my few joys in life. I won't. He leaves as you turn back to look at the clinic. You have your way in. Yeah, okay. You're pretty sure you can make the jump to the second floor, at least with a running start. You make your way up the hill and bend your knees in anticipation, and then you jump. You land and try the door. It's unlocked. The upstairs of the clinic feel like a decommissioned museum. Old furniture is covered in plain white sheets, and a thick layer of dust coats the floor. This place hasn't seen any use in years. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it is that wanted you to find it. Oh, I wanted to look! You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Ah! The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Ren, what are you doing in the morgue? Oh my. Alright, you know what? All of these responses are funny as hell. You can flirt with everyone in this freaking game. Yeah, let's pretend I'm looking for Stella. You haven't seen Stella around, have you? She's been missing since last night. I haven't. Did you think you'd find her in the... I'm sorry. That was funny. I haven't. Did you think you'd find her in the morgue? His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pool. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loses its pull on you. You kind of looked possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. I need to get behind the wall. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency act somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the doc out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Oh man, I should have asked him about him lying on the friggin... Get the doc out of our hair? Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time, it's true anyway. Use whatever you got to get what you need. No shame in that. Exactly. Yes, please, act now. Oh, you're super desperate about this wall. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom? He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I just picked some up. I've got a errand... The fuck? I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice. And some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step into the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. Yeah, I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records, with your family's name on them. Read the files! Reese stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Ooh. Ooh! Ooh. Edwardine Scarlet, born April 9th, 1913. Died February 12th, 2003. Damn, that's an old-ass woman. Aged 89. Cause of death, heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter, Pearl Ann Scarlet. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. What the fuck? Yes, I'm aware. The fuck? Pearl Ann, alright. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter, Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Sleep apnea. I know what that is, I just can't think of it right now. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum? Wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. I feel like that was forbidden knowledge. Enoch Scarlet, born September 9th, 1887, died August 20th, 1957, age 69. Cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries. Lacerations to the neck and body consist with fall from great height. Whoa, an actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet, born May 24th, 1890, died 1918, age 28. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse. Body not recovered, signed by his brother Enoch Scarlet. Right, we read about that, right? Joseph Scarlet, born April 1914, died June 7th, 1944. Louis Scarlet, born August 1920, died June 6, 1944. Both relatively young. Both killed at Normandy in the lines of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet, delivered April 3rd, 1945. Stillbirth, mother Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth, no doctor present, home burial. Alexandra Scarlet, born December 12th, 1947, died August 20th, 1957, aged 9, missing, presumed dead, signed by mother Edwardine Scarlet. Alexandra, the owner of the doll, so she went missing. Mary Bell Scarlet, born September 3rd, 1946, died October 30th, 1963, aged 17. Cause of death, complications during childbirth, signed by her mother Edwardine Scarlet. Whoa, that's a lot of kids to outlive. Yeah, 3 of them. Right? It was 3. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have read it. Oops, my bad. Reese's eyes flick up to the doorway, and a second later you hear the sound of the front door handle being turned. His hand is on your shoulder before you even register what's happening, and you're pushed back and out of view of the front door. Shit, I'm not supposed to be in here. We gotta hide. He hurries to the closet door, motioning you inside. You slip past him and squish yourself into what little space is available in the nearly full closet. Reese is close on your heels. We're both really skinny bitches. I think he can fit. Let him in. You let him in. Together you listen as the doctor makes her way to some room deeper into the clinic. In the silence of the tiny closet, every breath seems too loud, as if you could expect Dr. Kelly to hear it from wherever she was across the house. We better wait a second, just in case. Not flirting with Reese. You two stand in tense silence, both crammed in this suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. The footsteps return. They get louder, approaching the open office door, and then they stop. Much to her relief, she opens another door, leaving the main clinic. We're in the clear! We've probably only got a minute or two until she comes back, so let's make it count. The medical supply room is probably our best bet. If any other room in this clinic is likely to have a fire axe, it's probably the room full of chemicals. This way. He motions you down a hallway, slipping through the slightly ajar door of what you assume to be the supply room. Yes! There it is! Keys, keys! Here we go! Holy shit. That is freaky! He rushes over to the cabinet that contains a bright red axe, pulling the glass door open. Your axe? Oh, thank you. I don't have the axe. A splash of brown catches your eye. There's a small sprig of what almost looks like furry berries, with a wide 8-pronged leaf still attached at the base. The end of the sprig is licking sap onto the countertop. It's fresh. Now we can... Rhys stops mid-sentence as he's noticed you staring at the plant. He stoops to pick it up. Does she make her own medicine? He puts it down, but not before breaking off a berry and sliding it into his pocket. I don't think she's allowed to do that. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just for storing stuff she orders for patients from a pharmacist in Brevard. Why would she be making her own? Before you can answer, the two of you hear something in the distance and turn to listen intently. That was the door from the house. Come on, if we hurry, we can get you back downstairs. I'll run interference. Go downstairs. Quick. You can hear her approaching now, floorboards creaking in the hallway on the other side of the office. You follow Rhys's instructions, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pool of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We already did have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. Nice. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Did you at least leave a blanket this... Did you at least have a blanket this time? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door close and the sound of Rhys descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey! Whoa. You listen to music that sounds like a wall being broken down? Of course I do. I'm sad all the time. Glad my taste in music is finally coming in handy. It's exactly the cover we need. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. May I make the first blow? Go for it. You approach the far end of the morgue, axe practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance. There is some structure behind it, some wood frame holding it in place, trying to stand between you and what awaits for you on the other side. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your effort. Holy shit! The splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Rhys coughs as he takes a better look at what lies behind the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Your nails are looking sharp there, buddy. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room was slowly filling with dirt. and with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Whoa, are you okay? No. You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never be able to use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I've found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today. Everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Damn, bitch! How the fuck did you get me out of there? Hey, I was worried you slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? I had a vision. Like a hallucination. I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. No, it's just weird little things, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. I think these are visions of things that actually happened. Whoa, I wonder if you'd see anything else if you went back in there. Or if there are more around town. Maybe you gotta catch them all. Maybe if you collect them all, you'll finally unravel whatever the big mystery is. Seems fun. That's why I'm here today. How did I get here? I carried you. Okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. No problem. Just figured you'd rather wake up in a bed than that musty hallway. Or the morgue. Just Dr. Kelly know I'm here. Nah, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come to in the morgue. So, what now? We might be stuck down here for a little bit. The doc is on a warpath up there. I refused to take my medicine and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. But why would your mom poison you? I don't know. But the internet says this is a castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I've ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. With your evidence, you should be able to go to the cops. Maybe not the local cops, but a cops. I do have the castor bean from the pharmacy, but I still have to prove where I got it from. And that she used it to poison me. It's possible the cops might just think I snapped and it could turn out even worse for me. I don't think the doc would hesitate to have me committed if it meant she could keep her hold on me. We need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. She's sick. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I've never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. You can stay with me if you want, at least until you get on your feet. It's just a rundown studio apartment, but there's a roof over your head and a warm place to sleep when the heat works. And nobody trying to poison me. Sounds like a pretty big upgrade. He smiles, his eyes distant as he imagines the possibility of such a life, undoubtedly for the first time. Thanks, Ren. You've no idea how much this offer means to me. But I guess we've still got to pass some time before we can get out of here. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It didn't feel awful, to be honest. Whoa, okay. Maybe next time. Do whatever it is you do to kill time. Preferably something that'll help me ignore my mounting anxiety. I only do two things. Paint and watch movies, and I doubt watching me paint would be entertaining enough to distract you. I'll just be leaving it behind in an hour or two anyway, so movie it is. Go ahead and get comfy. I'll pick something you might like. As long as it's not horror. You know, I've been wanting to share Shinochi Deathblood with someone for years. Ah, shit, okay. Oh, okay, that's close. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and, of course, the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person. Or to talk to people. Ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. I'm glad you'll be able to have a social life, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Reese smiles to himself. That's so creepy looking. It's still hard to imagine, hard to believe after all these years alone, that's going to be my reality. Man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. Reese, are you feeling okay? I'm just jittery. I've had a really weird day, and I think being down here is making me anxious. I'm all hopped up on adrenaline. Maybe waiting at the dock is a bad idea. The longer we wait, the more likely it is she'll figure out that we're onto her, and it would be too easy for her to lock me up again and be thorough about it this time. There's a knock on the window. Don't be freaky, Wayne. Ren, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the window. Good luck, freak. That glass is shatterproof. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. I think you might be overreacting. That's only because you don't know what kind of danger you're in. I know what it's like to have my life stolen by someone else. It destroys you in every way, but I'm not weak anymore. No more cowering. If someone tries to hurt me, I should hurt them back, and I can do the same for you, Ren. We're in this together. Ooh, this is getting a little weird. The window shatters. Okay. Fun. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional world, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone! Okay then. In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. Let's see where this goes. We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the dock. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. Why would I call Tabitha right now? You make your way to the door that beckoned to you yesterday. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! Ooh, okay. You do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between its ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're going to have to try harder than that, you... How did you... As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks in the wood, Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. You run forward, braving the onslaught of the smears, dodging them as best as you can to try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out out of some unseen speaker. You, Ren. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What the hell is your son, ma'am? I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everyone said raising a teen was going to be a bitch, but they don't know half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. Alrighty. You turn back around and head to the medical storage room. I'm here? Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottled labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Ren, you don't have to do anything, she says. I'm not gonna hurt anybody else. Just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I'm not gonna let you kill someone, Reese. Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care? Trust me, Reese, I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance, and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist. Don't try to spin it like some kind of crime of passion now that the consequences are staring you in the face. Enough. Reese cries out in pain. What the hell did you do to my shoulder? You see, for the briefest instant, something coming out of Wayne's sleeve. Just a flash of pale yellow, then it's gone, slithering back into Wayne's clothes. I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Okay. You do as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back down the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the massive paint sealing it shut. Hurry! I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of those smears managed to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Let's talk, Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him. You've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. How does he not know what he is? I've been medicating since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages, so he rarely ever does. but I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. What did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. Some people just have pointed ears, man. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out at a few specialists, but there's nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed, right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure this was something beyond my realm of expertise. Why'd you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high doses of clonopin, but his body kept adapting, and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious, and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. I bet it was Sybil. Who approached you, and what did they say? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was... And that's all I have to say about that. Great. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps on Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. It just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I keep having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet. But they were just dreams. No, the fuck they weren't. Then all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness. And roughly 9 months later, Reese. Freaky shit. The relationship between you seems so difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready, but he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day and turns into a 12-foot-tall monster with a million teeth and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. He's been kind to me. Yeah, and Ted Buddy was kind to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Then he slaughtered them. He's a really sweet kid most of the time, but I can't let that overshadow the violence he's capable of. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Maybe I'll live happily ever after. And if you can't, doesn't really change much. Whether he's a willing captive or an unwilling captive, it doesn't matter. He's either under my constant supervision or he's dead. That's just how this has to go. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. Whoop. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. That's terrifying. Is this what you were afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Yeah, sorry, man. You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. Dr. Kelly quickly loads them into her gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Ren, I thought we were in this together. Thank God. Dr. Kelly sighs heavily, staring down at the warped figure of her son. I can drag him into the safe room on my own. I'll meet you at the front when I'm done. Leave her to it. I really don't want you to murder anyone, buddy. You return to the entrance of the clinic. Everything is quiet now, only streaks of paint where Reese's minions that once recoiled out of the cracks of the wood. I hope you understand that this needs to stay between us. I don't care how much you feel like you need to share what just happened with other people. The more people know about this, the more trouble it is for me and for him, and I don't need any more well-intentioned escape plans. Yeah, okay. Oh, I didn't get to read that out loud? Oh, shit. Okay, that's weird. Oh, I don't get to read my statements out loud? Okay. Okay. Just told her we tore down her wall and there's a weird stone down there. Okay, thanks for the heads up, I guess. Can I come visit him? As long as you don't bring anyone else along. Yeah, that would probably be good for him. I can't promise he won't see you, or that he won't have some harsh words if he does, but I don't want him to be entirely isolated. I feel so guilty. Join the club. But he was bound to figure it out sooner or later. I'm just glad there was an extra pair of hands around. Could have gone a lot worse. As much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I have to get to work. Gotta clean this place as best as I can before tomorrow. And you should probably get home. It's dark. I'm sure your cousin is worried about you. Yeah, okay. Put your arms out for a hug. No offense, but I'm not a hugger. See you later, Ren. Okay. Ah! Sorry, that was loud. Let me just see what that was. I don't know what that was. She firmly escorts you to the door. It closes behind you. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day, crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understandings of the world. Go home. It's time to go home. Before you can get that far, you're interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. Dog gang! It's the militia. They poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. You were looking for Gretchen Sheehan, weren't you? We found her. She's by the side of the road a little ways through the woods. She's unarmed, but she wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, so we'll have to take you to her. Hopefully you can use the people words to get her to someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. You are very, very good dogs. Lead the way. Yes, we are good dogs. Hear that, Scrubs? I'm not in it for the accolades, Daisy. I just do it to help those who need it. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to Stella's hideaway. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. And there she is. Keep us safe. We seen you, speaker. You sit on the log beside Stella. Ren, how did you... She looks over her shoulder in confusion. Is that a gang of dogs? Scraps and Daisy joined the militia. It's a long story, but they helped me find you. Huh. Neat. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? It's just a bunch of bad memories. There's nothing left to talk about. Come on, let's just go back to town. No. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. Oh, okay, I thought we were gonna talk. I guess we weren't. Two of you walk back to town in silence. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. She gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. Oh shit, Wayne! Don't scare. Time for you to get home, too. He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize is paint, evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. Okay. Let him walk him home, shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you in near complete silence. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly I wasn't sure, but now I know. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. But why? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. Thanks for looking out for me tonight. Anytime you find yourself in danger, I'll be there for you. I will always be there for you. How old are you, Wayne? Are we related? I'm not flirting with Wayne! Seems like Reese gave you a run for your money. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. He managed to catch me off guard. Those constructs of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. You don't need to keep coming up with new topics of conversation to fill the silence. You're tired. It's been a long night. You should rest. Damn, I just wanted information, man. Wayne remained silent for the rest of the journey back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that odd building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. You might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. Go home. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Go to bed. Exhausted beyond relief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, trapped in that tiny, windowless room, all his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But you stopped him from protecting Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. Nice. Oh, okay. Whoa! Congratulations for finishing all the episodes currently available in the game. You've unlocked Hardcore Mode. Hardcore Mode allows you to select 3 traits at character creation, but you'll no longer be able to use your traits to avoid the consequences of major decisions. This penalty only applies to hardcore runs. Have fun, if you dare. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, I guess I can overwrite this thing again. Fun. Alrighty, but yeah, that's it for Scarlet Hollow until they finish up Chapter 5. I think they said, it'd be sometime next year, I think? Oh, okay, return. But yeah, I guess that'll be... that. I don't know what else to say. I know I won't be doing anything for a little over another week. But there was... What game was it? I think Heaven's Vault was probably the next game I decided to play. That one is, because I got recommended that game when I played Chance of Sonar. So that one's a bit more like that one if you're interested. But other than that, have a good day. Thank you for watching and see you.